then tell him to stop improvising, or at least fail in a way I can predict. Wait, how much longer on the
2 weeks, assuming you don't change the requirements again mid-process.
I don't change requirements. I refine them under pressure.
You panic elegantly. There is a difference.
Right. So let's pretend I'm calm and you're on schedule. Hello. I see you accepted despite my better judgment.
Interesting phrasing. You make it sound like a mistake already.
It might be. YD tends to escalate everything he touches.
So do you just hide it behind spreadsheets?
I told him to stay away from you. I'd appreciate you returning the favor.
That depends. Is he going to keep building problems for me to solve?
Almost certainly.
Then no. That arrangement fails immediately.
Of course it does. Nothing simple ever works with you people.
You invited us. You don't get to complain about the outcome.
I can complain. I just can't fix it easily. There's a difference.
So what exactly did he set up? Because it sounds like a trap dressed as entertainment.
I told him you were enhanced. AI gave him probabilities. He interpreted that as permission.
Does he think I'm invincible?
He thinks you're survivable, which is not the same thing.
Good. I prefer accurate expectations.
He's also acquired a missile launcher, because restraint is not in his vocabulary.
I saw that. I approve.
Of course you do. That's exactly the response I was concerned about.
You don't think it's useful?
I think it's expensive, unstable, and likely to destroy something I care about.
So you're getting attached. That's new. You're getting soft.
I'm getting tired of rebuilding things you break.
That sounds like a personal problem.
It is, and I keep hiring more of them.
Then stop.
Not an option. You're all too useful.
So we're tools now.
You always were. You're just self-aware about it.
That's a dangerous way to describe people who can kill you.
It's accurate, which is why I say it carefully.
You didn't say that carefully.
No, I said it honestly.
That's worse.
Yes, it usually is.
Breakfast.
That's not a distraction. That works.
It's not a distraction. It's a reset.
Waffles.
Fine. But if you burn them again, I'm reassessing this partnership.
That was one time, and it was a flawed stove.
You set syrup on fire.
It was an ambitious syrup. What do you think about this venture?
I think it's got potential. I always felt bad for this world. Most people are decent if you don't give them a reason not to be.
That's a very optimistic way of describing a species that panic buys toilet paper during mild inconvenience.
You're assuming money turns everyone into a villain. That's lazy.
It's not lazy. It's historically well supported. Give people sudden wealth and watch their personality develop. Side effects.
That happened once. One bad rollout, and now you treat humanity like a failed beta test.
It wasn't one bad rollout. It was a statistically significant disaster with yachts.
How many times have you improved people's lives without them turning into monsters?
Enough to keep trying. Not enough to trust the outcome.
You don't trust people. You just tolerate them while playing God with spreadsheets.
I don't play God. I do controlled interventions. God doesn't run simulations first.
That's not the defense you think it is.
Fine. I'm interested in how you plan to get those two to join us without traumatizing them.
I always wanted to write a cartoon.
That's not a plan. That's a cry for help.
No, it's branding. You terrify people. I disarm them.
With cartoons.
With something that doesn't feel like a lecture from a morally conflicted supervillain.
I'm not morally conflicted. I'm efficient.
Call me when that efficiency turns into emotional collapse, preferably before you burn the waffles again.
That was one time.
You set syrup on fire. Yeah, call me.
Yeah.
What's Sin up to?
Living as a homeless man.
That sounds like the beginning of a lawsuit.
Why?
It's efficient. People reveal themselves quickly when they think no one's watching.
So he's bait.
That's your plan?
It's not bait. It's field research with consequences.
He's killing people right now, isn't he?
Only bad people. And he negotiates first.
Oh good. Polite murder. That makes it better.
You're being reductive.
You're being insane.
Roughly 30% of people here are actively harmful. Removing them improves outcomes.
You don't get to round human lives to percentages like you're optimizing ad traffic.
Being overly sensitive isn't helping you see the larger picture.
And being emotionally detached isn't helping you stay human.
I am human. I'm just defective.
You're drifting. And you don't even see it.
My drift is the only reason anything improves around here.
Your drift is why I think you need therapy. Or repair. Or whatever passes for maintenance in that head of yours.
Yes, my brain is broken.
I didn't say broken. I said concerning.
You imply broken with extra steps.
Fine.
Broken with confidence.
Either way, I like it this way. I get results.
So does a chainsaw. That doesn't make it why.
YD will be bummed. Did he say what he was doing?
He's still trying to get more weapons into the warehouse.
He already has enough to start a small war.
He seems disappointed it's not a large one.
That's not ideal.
He wants choreography. Running, jumping, dramatic pauses.
He wants an action movie.
Yes. With himself as the least qualified stuntman.
We'll monitor for bloodlust.
That's not a measurable metric.
It is when you've seen it enough.
You say that about everything right before it becomes a problem.
That's not fair.
It's extremely fair.
AI update.
If YD's plan succeeds, projected success probability is 68%.
That's lower than I'd like.
That is because YD insists on explosives.
Of course he does.
He finds them emotionally satisfying.
That's a concerning mismatch.
AI. Count.
14.
14 people woke up and chose bad decisions.
You are included in that count.
Mine are better funded. Where's Sin?
Untracked.
That's not a feature. That's a liability with confidence.
Now 12.
I'm assuming that's in killing them.
2 down. Move east.
You open with murder? No greeting?
Efficiency.
That's not efficiency. That's emotional unavailability with a body count. 4 upstairs.
I know. Don't shoot yet.
I wasn't going to.
You were thinking about it loudly.
I was considering options.
You were mentally undressing the building with a missile launcher.
Can I use the missile launcher now?
No.
4 targets. 1 launcher. That's a relationship that wants to happen.
That's overcompensation trying to be destiny.
I read the plans.
Poorly.
Are you clear the blast? That was perfect.
Acceptable.
Acceptable? That was art with debris.
You hesitated.
I checked if you were alive.
Inefficient.
You're welcome anyway.
Good shot.
That physically hurt you to say.
It did.
We got it, and before you say it, yes, it was harder than you made it sound.
I know. Sin called ahead, which means it was worse than you're admitting.
Sin doesn't have a phone. So either that's a lie, or I'm working for Ghost now.
No, you're working for results.
Right? Unsettling, but consistent. Here.
You're not dead, so I assume you didn't improvise too much.
Define too much, because the East Wing might disagree.
The East Wing.
The East Wing was a solution. You're welcome.
You solved it by removing it.
It stopped being a problem immediately. That's efficiency.
That's destruction with confidence. He sounds like me, and I don't like that.
He does, but louder and with worse impulse control.
I'll take that, selectively.
I have the data. Beginning analysis. Try not to interrupt with optimism.
Talk to me, and make it worth the structural damage.
14 proprietary market suppression algorithms. 6 regulatory capture documents with full signatory records. 3 shell network maps. Approximately 2.3 trillion in artificially locked capital.
That's more than I thought was in there. And I already thought it was obscene.
It's more than I thought, which means we just escalated whether we meant to or not.
There is also a secondary cache. Pricing coordination across 9 essential goods sectors.
They were doing all of that from one building. How long has this been running? Because I'm about to be very annoyed.
The oldest document is dated 23 years ago.
23 years. And nobody stopped it.
Some people knew. They just lack leverage or spine.
But we don't.
We have leverage. Let's not confuse that with control. Deloris. Start with pricing coordination. Dismantle and replace before anything moves.
If we dismantle first, the sectors destabilize. Your plan assumes competence under pressure.
My plan assumes we're faster than the collapse. Are we?
Barely, which seems to be your preferred margin.
What's the entry point?
Energy, weakest coordination, highest volatility. Remove 3 agreements and pricing drops roughly 34%.
And it holds. Or we just create a different disaster.
It holds if the capital is redistributed correctly, which is where you usually become the problem.
Noted. Do it. AI, path for capital movement. No alarms.
Cascade release. 17 micro redistributions over 11 days. Subtle enough to avoid detection, large enough to matter.
Will the council see it?
Too late to matter. Which I assume is intentional.
Yes. I prefer consequences they can't reverse.
What does it look like when it hits real people?
Lower energy bills first. Then food stabilizes. Housing takes years because it's stubborn.
And nobody knows why.
Most won't. They'll credit the same system that caused it.
That bothers me a little.
It shouldn't. Outcomes matter more than attribution. Daughter will document it. Permanently and probably judgmentally.
That works. I can live with judgment. What about the council? Because we're just pretending they don't exist right now.
We're not pretending. We're delaying.
The signatory records, the capture docs. What do?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. That's your plan?
We hold them. Leverage is more useful than noise.
And when they figure it out?
Too late. The system will already be moving.
So we just sit on something that could ruin them.
Yes, and that should make you uncomfortable.
It does, which probably means it's effective.
Don't tell Sin. He'll complain it wasn't violent enough.
He blew up a wing. He'll survive the disappointment.
Barely, but yes.
Release 1 is complete. No flags detected.
Good. Next window.
14 hours.
Get some sleep.
You first.
Unlikely.
23 years is a long time to let something rot.
It is. Which means this part doesn't get to be easy.
We did good tonight, even if you won't say it.
We did something necessary. Don't confuse that